Margaret 1859 in County Antrim, Ireland. Halliday, originally known as Eliza Margaret McNally, was born around 1859 in County Antrim, Ireland. Her family relocated to the United States when she was quite young, either at the age of 3 or 8. In 1879, Halliday married a man from Greenwich, New York, who was using the alias Charles Hopkins, but whose true name was Ketspel Brown. They were reported to have had a son who later ended up institutionalized. Unfortunately, Charles Hopkins passed away, and shortly after, in 1881, Halliday married Artemis Brewer, a pensioner. However, their happiness was short-lived, as Brewer also passed away less than a year after their marriage. She then married Hiram Parkinson, but their union didn't last, and Parkinson left her within the first year of their marriage. Undeterred, Halliday went on to marry George Smith, a war veteran who had served alongside Brewer. It was later alleged that she attempted to harm Smith by lacing his tea with arsenic. In fear of the consequences, Lizzy fled to Bellows Falls, Vermont, and quickly married Charles Plaistel, a resident of Vermont. Strangely, she disappeared just 2 weeks after their marriage. In the winter of 1888, Halliday surfaced again in Philadelphia, frequenting a saloon on North Front Street run by the McQuillans, whom she had known from her Irish days. Assuming the name Maggie Hopkins, she established a shop but was eventually convicted of arson, having deliberately set it on fire to claim insurance money. This crime resulted in a 2-year sentence at Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary. In 1889, now going by the name Lizzy Brown, she became the housekeeper for Paul Halliday, a 70-year-old farmer who had been widowed twice and was residing in Burlingame, New York, along with his sons. Their marriage was troubled, with Halliday experiencing sporadic episodes of what she described as insanity. Additionally, she was found to have stolen a team of horses, which she later sold in Newburgh, New York. However, she was ultimately acquitted of this crime, with accounts differing on whether this occurred in 1890 or 1893, based on the grounds of insanity. In May 1891, a tragic incident unfolded when the Halliday house was consumed by flames, leading to the death of Halliday's mentally handicapped son, John. Suspicion arose once again, pointing to Lizzy Halliday as the culprit, as she was known to harbor resentment towards her own son. Despite her claims that John perished while trying to save her, evidence surfaced during the investigation, revealing a locked bedroom door in the debris, with Halliday in possession of the key. Disturbingly, not long after this event, the Halliday barn and mill were also set ablaze. Following these incidents, Lizzy attempted to elope with another man, but her plans were foiled, leading to her arrest and commitment to an asylum. She was later transferred to another facility, where she was eventually declared cured and released, returning to her home with Halliday. However, the mystery deepened in August when Paul Halliday, Lizzy's husband, vanished without a trace. Lizzy claimed he had left for a nearby town to engage in masonry work. Neighbor suspicions arose, prompting the issuance of a search warrant. On September 4th, a chilling discovery was made in a barn: the bodies of 2 women, later identified as Margaret and Sarah McQuillan, residents of New York whom Lizzy had known from her time in Philadelphia. Both women had been fatally shot. In the midst of the investigation, the situation took an even more sinister turn. Paul Halliday's mutilated body was found concealed beneath the floorboards of his own home, also bearing gunshot wounds. Lizzy Halliday was immediately charged with these shocking murders and confined to the Sullivan County Jail in Monticello, New York. Throughout her incarceration, her behavior was erratic and alarming. She engaged in self-destructive actions, including refusing to eat, attacking the sheriff's wife, setting fire to her own bed, attempting suicide by hanging, and even inflicting harm on herself with broken glass. Her actions led some to speculate that she might be feigning insanity. Given her dangerous conduct, jail authorities had no choice but to restrain her, resorting to chaining her to the floor for her own safety during her remaining time there. The case of Lizzy Halliday became one of extraordinary intrigue and horror, prompting intense scrutiny as it awaited trial. On June 21, 1894, Lizzy Halliday faced conviction at the Sullivan County Oyer and Terminer Court for the murders of Margaret McQuillan and Sarah Jane McQuillan. Remarkably, she became the first woman in history to receive the death penalty by electrocution, utilizing New York State's recently introduced electric chair. However, before the sentence could be carried out, Governor Roswell P. Flower intervened and commuted her punishment to life imprisonment in a mental institution, as a medical commission had declared her mentally unstable. Subsequently, Halliday was transferred to the Matawan State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, where she remained for the rest of her life. Over time, she transformed into a model patient, earning trust and privileges, such as sewing rights, that granted her access to tools, including scissors. During her stay, she developed a close relationship with Nellie Wicks, one of the attendants at Matawan. However, Halliday was profoundly disturbed by the news of Wicks's plans to depart from the institution. Tragically, in 1906, Halliday acted out in a horrific manner, ending Nellie Wicks's life by brutally stabbing her 200 times with a pair of scissors. This shocking act added another grave crime to her already notorious record. Halliday's existence within the asylum endured, but her health ultimately deteriorated. On June 28, 1918, she succumbed to Bright's disease, a condition that had afflicted her for some time. Her passing marked the conclusion of a deeply troubled life, with a significant portion spent locked away in the confines of the mental institution.
All right, there we go. There we go. Good evening. It is let me turn this background stuff off. We just have bright, happy news to talk about. Well, a case to talk about. And joining me, as I mentioned in the description, Tanya B Dreds.
That's a name.
Yeah. Well, it's the name I give everyone. I gave Carl B. Dreads.
Right.
We have Mrs. Dreads. And then Sugar.
I could be Sister Dreads.
Sugar B. Dreads.
Sugar be. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was old Sugar. But quite a disturbing little case. Black Widow, which is what I was thinking when I first started, looking into this, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, like literally minutes.
It wasn't that long ago at all. But thank you. We got yeah, Kid Check the Rhyme 1 2 1 2. I don't know why I say that. I just started doing that every time they're in. Thank you for joining us. Kelly's here. Mike Phillips or Phelps, sorry, Mike. Mike is here, and some other people that have not chimed in the chat. I had never heard of this guy. I guess it came across, or
You mean
this
this
guy.
lady?
It looks like a guy.
See, you called me a man earlier today. I think you're
There's something
stroking
going.
out or something.
I might
Confused.
be. I might be. The You can see what this chick looks like. She's a crazy looking lady. Should I even call her a lady? I don't think so.
Psycho, maybe.
So, she's psycho. All right.
Yeah.
So you got a nice little rough overview. I do want to take and talk about this marriage thing. Um, Carlos says, "Fuck it is, baby." What? Not sure. Oh yeah, I got the little Dave up in the corner, parental advisory. So
Right.
make sure the kids ain't listening. So going back to this whole marriage thing, because if you go to let's say a place like Wikipedia, you know, the biography, other than the little overview that you get in the beginning, the biography basically is like two sentences.
Pretty much.
And then it goes into her getting married. Originally she was Eliza Margaret McNally,
Right.
was born around 1859 in Ireland. Her family moved to the U.S. when she was a young age, given as age, three or eight. So it's either three.
I thought it was between like 3 and 7 or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
so it's still it's kind of rough,
Right.
pinning down how old she was, and
Well, she
then
was born in like 1859, I think she
59,
said. Yeah. And then between like 3 and 7. So basically in the 1860s, mid 1860s.
yeah. The it went to 1879 that as it was mentioned, as she married a New York man.
1879. So she was 20, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, roughly around 20. She Charles Hopkins. They're said to have one son who ended up institutionalized.
Oh, gee, you think?
You didn't see that one coming, I guess. Well, I guess at that point, no, they probably didn't see that coming.
I mean, could you be any more traumatized than to be that kid?
Right.
I mean, hello.
Yeah. At least this isn't in Volusia County.
Yeah, right.
So in 1881, after Hopkins died, she married a pensioner, Artemis Brewer.
Right. Like, why
And
isn't that name in her name in her like list of? She sounds like she should
well,
have been
I
from
don't think
like
they lasted long, but he also died less than a year later. So, I guess
Right.
she figured that the stay wasn't going to be very long.
right. Well, a lot of them weren't. I think what one was like 2 weeks, but she still carried his name.
Oh, well, true story. Maybe she really liked that guy.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I mean, she's got like a whole list of names.
She really does.
Yeah,
Hiram Parkinson was her third husband.
right,
Left her within the first year of marriage.
right.
He was a smart one.
Now that's the dude. I think she tried to poison. She tried to poison him with arsenic, and as he was recovering,
and he survived.
she
right?
packed up the stuff and left.
Yep, that's the one. Yeah,
he didn't leave her. Like
no, she kind of left him to hightail
Yeah.
it because he was in a position to rat her the fuck out.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, so yeah, she's like, boop, ziggity boo, out the door I go. While he's recovering from arsenic poisoning. Boy, they were just made different back then.
Oh my Christmas! Yes, they were.
Halliday went on to marry George Smith, a war veteran who had served with Brewer. So there's a little connection
They were
there.
comrades. I do remember.
Right.
That, yeah.
After a reported failed attempt to kill Smith. Oh, that's the arsenic guy.
Oh, is that?
By putting arsenic in his tea, Lizzy fled to Bellow Falls, Vermont. So the same story. We just had the wrong guy involved.
Yeah. It was one of the army dudes.
Right. And they happen to be buddies. She married Vermont resident Charles Plaisdell, but she vanished 2 weeks later.
Right.
So
Lucky him, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
He dodged that bullet, literally.
I mean, she's not wasting any. She ain't wasting any time here. I mean, we're talking in the winter of 1888. So that's 9 years after her first husband.
Right. Yeah.
Halliday resurfaced in Philadelphia at a saloon that was run by the McQuillans,
which she knew from being in Ireland.
Right.
She knew that family from her days in Ireland, right?
And going by the name of Maggie Hopkins. There we go. The Hopkins, that's her first husband, Charles Hopkins. Halliday set up a shop, but was later convicted of burning it down for some, insurance money.
Right.
And that's when she did a little bit of time there. She did like 2 years. I believe it was for, sentenced to 2 years, Eastern State Penitentiary in Philly. In 1889, maybe she got out. I guess
she did 2 years.
Yeah, she got some good behavior or something. Now going by the name Lizzy Brown. Lizzy Borden was already taken. I mean,
apparently.
So Lizzy Borden, they couldn't do that one. She became the housekeeper for Paul Halliday. a twice widowed 70-year-old farmer.
Yeah, he was like
living
40 years older than her, it said.
Yeah, I mean, gold dig much, as Kid Check the Rhyme 1212 said. Gold dig much. But their marriage was marred by what Halliday described as Lizzy's sporadic spells of insanity. That kind of spells it out, all pun intended, I guess. Because didn't they say in that little video that she did have some mental disorders going on there.
Right, she was in a mental institution and they let her out. Like she was declared insane, and then the doctor said no, she's normal, and let her out. And so I blame the doctors.
Wow. Yeah, no, I would too. Misdiagnosis. Yeah. Which
like, could you be any more wrong?
I know, right?
This is like uber misdiagnosed.
Oh, very much misdiagnosed. So within 2 years, the Halliday family house and barn burnt to the ground. She was suspecting of setting the fires.
Actually, the house, only part of it burned. A lot of it was saved, according to what I read.
Okay.
And like the neighbors apparently hated her. Like they thought she was weird as get out. So like they started watching the comings and goings on the farm.
Right.
And when they noticed that, what's his name? Halliday, her last husband, wasn't coming and going from the farm, they asked, well, where's he at? She said he went to go sell some horses or something. And that's what they thought that was weird and called the cops, and that's what brought the cops. Because didn't she like burn the barn down and his son? He had a disabled son. He had 5
disabled
kids.
Son, And as a matter of fact, it goes into that next 1891. The Halliday house was burned to the ground, killing Halliday's mentally handicapped son, John.
Yeah, he was in the barn.
Yeah. This was against. She was against.
How many freaking barns did they have?
Man, that's all they had out there.
Apparently,
dude. That's it, man. We're talking.
They burned one down, and they found
very late 1800s. They didn't have much other than barns, I guess. Barnes and Nobles,
right?
That was bad.
It was. Barnes and Pebbles.
Right. She claimed that he died trying to save her from the flames. John did.
Oh, John did?
Yeah. But his locked bedroom door was discovered in the rubble. So even the CSI was kind of
if I can unlock the door, Mom, I'll save you.
Yeah, right. Lock this door, and Halliday was in possession of the key.
Oh, Christmas.
So could it get any worse, right? She tried. She was transferred to another asylum, but was then declared cured and released.
See, I knew it was one of those. Home. Yeah.
Has anybody other than us heard of this? And yes, if it seems like I'm reading right from Wiki, well, you're damn straight I am, because again, like the case that Bobby Tutro and myself covered last Monday, which there won't be a show tomorrow or a morning show on Tuesday because I got to work. But that one was back in like 18 something. And so, there's not a lot.
Oh, yeah, that was the Polish dude. The head in the jar.
Oh, yeah, the head in the jar guy. Yeah. That, so you're only going to get so much when it comes to these, really, really old cases.
Right.
You're only going to get so much.
Where my curiosity is piqued is when they came to investigate the farm.
Right.
And they found the fresh hay up in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull it down, and there's the McQuillan chick and her daughter that she killed back in Pennsylvania.
Right.
How did she get the body? Because she didn't have a car.
I know, right.
How did she get the bodies from Pennsylvania to New York? Like, what was she keeping them for prosperity, or like?
I'm going to, let's see.
Like, it doesn't say. Like, what? Like, these are things I need to know.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. On September 4th, the bodies of 2 women were found buried in the hay in the barn, as you said. Both had been shot. The women were later identified as Margaret and Sarah. New York residents who were part of the family Lizzy had stayed with in Philadelphia, so she knew that.
So she didn't stay with them in Philadelphia. They lived in New York, but were part of that family.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Little.
Because I was like, how does somebody in like 1890s like take 2 bodies from Pennsylvania to New York and like not be noticed?
Yeah. Right.
That gives new meaning to just mind your own business. Like, don't mind my purse.
Right. It's little could be ascertained from Halliday as when questioned, she behaved in an erratic manner. Erotic manner.
Erotic, yeah.
Ooh, baby, want to get married?
As soon as I figure out my name, I'll tell you what it is. What do you want it to be?
Yeah. Staring at her clothes and talking incoherently. She was kept in custody, and some thought she was just merely faking her insanity. Which, hey, a lot of people do that now. Who's to say she wasn't? I don't know. I think she's got a few screws loose, personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the insanity thing.
Yeah.
A few days after the McMillans were found, Paul Halliday's mutilated body was discovered under the floorboards of his house.
In the kitchen, I read.
He had also been shot. Lizzy was charged with the murders, held for trial at Sullivan County Jail in Monticello, New York. And that's when, as we see in the video, she refused to eat. Being a pain in the ass for the guards, attacking the sheriff's wife, set fire to her own bed.
The thing I read yesterday, it said something about when in her attempt to escape, she bit a guard, and the guard died from the wound, the infection. I guess her bite created an infection, and he died from it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was nuts.
Very Edgar Allan Poe, Kelly says. Now I have to think back as to when the hell she said, or when I said something or read something. Very Edgar Allan Poe. What? Please explain, Kelly. Please. Very Edgar Allan Poe. I'm not sure.
Mysterious, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't say how she how she got them buried under the floorboards. Gotcha.
Okay,
gotcha. Makes sense now. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say how she got those bodies there.
Especially if the neighbors were like watching, you know what I mean? Because they didn't like
her. It doesn't say anything about it. It just says that it happened. that they found him behind the hay. I don't see where it says yeah.
More insanity. Just pile it on.
Just more insanity.
Yeah, just pile it on.
I mean, telltale heart. Yes, exactly. That was a good one. So she's just running around, shooting, mutilating people. All men she married, other than
the first one.
The 2 girls that she somehow got to the what was her name? Where's it at? Sarah and Margaret. Yes.
Margaret and Sarah McQuillan.
Yes, McQuillan. Yes.
That's it.
I just had a brain fart, man.
Senior moment.
Oh, yeah.
I get them all the time.
It's true. It's a true story. The Sullivan County Sheriff started a new round of speculation when he told the press that Lizzy was probably connected with the Jack the Ripper murders.
Right.
Although no connection was ever made, which is interesting because the time frame,
Well, apparently she was in Europe when all that happened.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Plus, I guess from what I read, when she was in the insane asylum or whatever, she kept making comments about certain details of the killings. So that's why he linked
of the Ripper killings?
Yes, of the Ripper killings.
Okay.
So she was describing certain details of goings on or whatever along with the Jack the Ripper killings. So that's why they tried to link her, because she was in Europe at the time. And
well, and they said the same thing about H.H. Holmes, the Chicago World Fair, and his big, house of torture and all the little, secret rooms and all this.
Right. Body shoots.
There's just the time frame of, they said that he may be Jack the Ripper. That was speculated. Kind of look like him from all the, pictures that you see.
Plus, he was medically trained. So.
Very true. Yeah. So, there was a lot, and they really back then. And me and Bobby Tutro are going to have to do a show again on Jack the Ripper. This was when Bobby Tutro went down with some back surgery. He said all he did was just, he had nothing better to do than his dad got him into the Jack the Ripper and all these different, conspiracies and whatnot. And he just dove into it, and it's his belief. And I kind of have to go along with it that, even though we're getting off of the whole Lizzy thing, kind of, the Jack the Ripper murders wasn't just a one person act.
Right,
there were eyewitnesses who, had seen two people in the area at the time that a body was found.
Right.
One of them taken off across the street when, somebody tried to acknowledge them. But back then, like this time frame that we were talking about with Lizzy, they didn't. You pretty much had to catch them in the act. There
wasn't cameras.
Yeah, they didn't have none of this. The science wasn't the way it is now, obviously, and that's basically where they were, and probably where they were with this case as well.
Right. Well, they didn't have even fingerprinting.
No, they basically had to catch them in the act. That was the only way to really convict somebody. They even washed the blood off of the sidewalks, the Jack the Ripper case. Yeah, so they wouldn't start panic, because what are they going to do with the blood? Good evening, Chaos. I see you there. Hey, buddy. So you have kind of the same issue here, but that's pretty interesting. They think she was somehow maybe connected with the Ripper. There was people theories out there of a like Jane the Ripper, like a female, that Jack the Ripper was actually a female killing prostitutes.
Well, see, she reminds me of more like just crazy, insane, and I'm just gonna kill you instead of
like
that
an Eileen Wuornos, because Eileen Wuornos did the same thing. I think out not marrying them, but would take every dude she come across and end up being shot and robbed.
Right, and she claimed that they tried to rape her.
Yeah, she was always the victim, self-defense.
Right, but like Jack the Ripper killings remind me of something more methodical and thought through, and things like that, to where like these are just like crazy chicks who are just out there just killing and whatever works.
Right. And
because she didn't really have like a modus operandi,
except for the the burning of the the business or the little work or whatever she was doing. That was they thought insurance fraud, type deal. Burn your own shit down, collect the money.
I mean, she's poisoning people. She's stabbing them with scissors. She's shooting them
200 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
she didn't really have like a favorite way to kill somebody. She just
did it. It's just whatever whatever means she had. And I think we need to take a moment and really, really comprehend stabbing someone 200
with scissors
200 times. That's it's not like the movies.
This takes time and this takes energy and effort.
Oh my God, to just constantly 200 times. There's rage. There's for sure mental illness. I mean, overkill much. I mean, what was left of this person? It would have just been meat,
right? Basically purified.
Pureed.
That's what I meant.
Oh, purified. Was purified meat. Yeah, you'd have to take a fucking break in between.
I know. I was like, I'm wondering if she switched hands.
Yeah, you switch hands. All right, I gotta sit down, have a cigarette. All right, back at it.
Right? It's like my Christmas.
Yeah, that's insane. That many times.
Like I don't even want to count to 200. Like that just didn't even like the effort that it takes to count to 200 without even like doing anything.
Right. It
just makes me think that's just too long. I just don't even want to do that.
I mean,
let alone just picking up a pair of scissors and like just stabbing somebody 200 times. I don't even want to just sit here and count the 200, let alone stab somebody 200 times. Like that takes too much effort for me.
And depending on where the first few blows were, she could have probably been dead after the first few blows, depending on where she was stabbed. It could have been a kill shot right from the get. It could have taken a couple shots.
That would have. Can you imagine? That would have sucked to be like the 200th stab is what killed her.
Oh my God!
Like she's stabbing her like in the hand and in the arm and in the leg and in the foot.
They don't say. So it could have been all over the place.
That would be terrible.
That would be horrible. Yeah.
Like the 200th stab killed her. Be like, oh wow,
man, she really held out.
Jeez, so I don't know why my brain thinks this way. I'm so sorry.
I don't. I'm not sure.
It's like you're not shaking salt here. You're stabbing somebody.
Right. 200 times.
Yeah, geez.
It just blows my mind. 200 times. I mean, that's what
I'm saying. Like, I don't even want to count to 200 because that takes too much time and like effort for me.
You got that much time to count. And when are you ever going to need that in life? It's like algebra.
Yeah, like,
are you ever going to need that? I don't need to count to 200. I know I can. And if you got a gun to my head,
I would think,
or a pair of scissors
at like 200 stabs.
Yeah,
like when you hit the same hole twice, eventually.
Well. Hopefully,
like maybe it was more than 200. You know what I mean? Like there was only 200 distinct.
Oh yeah, I mean because after so long, it just turns to mince meat.
Yeah, you eventually get like a gaping hole. You would think you
could have had 4 or 5 stabs.
Yeah, how many times
that aren't accounted for? Yeah, I mean we
I'm
need.
Sorry, my brain.
we need science involved here. Exactly how many times? I mean, we know Lizzy Borden. Was it 49 wax?
40.
There's a little. She
gave her mother 40 wax.
Oh, it was.
No, it was 41. She gave her father 40 wax. When she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41.
Oh man,
or reverse or whatever, like something to that effect.
That's pretty good.
Lizzy Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 wax. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. That's what. So it was like 81 altogether. Which it really wasn't that many. I don't know.
No, 41 would have been just one more whack. I don't think she did it that much. Carlos says he tries to hit the same hole twice. Now I have to find out. Inquiring minds want to know.
If you hit the hole right the first time, you don't have to try for the second one.
Well, I don't want the Lizzy Borden house. Well, I mean, I guess I can find out. Now we're talking about Lizzy. It's just a Lizzy night,
right? And you know what? This was around the same time as Lizzy Borden too. I believe I read that somewhere that like the whole Lizzy Borden thing was going on at the same time.
1872 to 1892.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just about the house. Look, I'm just rambling. You guys are just along for the ride. I don't want the house.
She was also the first woman to be sentenced to the electric chair.
Mm-hmm.
But then that sentence was commuted.
Yeah. I know. I have brain fart here. Yeah, first person was sentenced to die. Why did
woman?
First woman. Why did they say that? And that was in New York. Why did they say that they?
Because apparently the mayor or whatever declared her insane, or said that the doctor said she was insane, so he commuted her sentence.
Because you can't kill the mentally ill. Gotcha.
That's where she killed the nurse.
Yeah, right. With the scissors.
Yeah, she was a model patient.
Yeah,
and they let her have sewing rights.
She had all kinds of weapons in there, sewing
scissors, needles. Yeah,
why not?
Sure.
I mean, did they ever? I don't know if I remember seeing this. Did they ever connect her with all the other murders of her husbands? I
believe they did.
With the two girls, they kind of. That happened in no, that all happened in New York, right?
She killed one dude in Pennsylvania, didn't she, or something? Yeah. Or no, she poisoned him. That was the dude she poisoned, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The army comrade.
As everyone can tell, extremely prepared.
Yes.
Extremely. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I would.
We have the gist of it.
You get the gist of it because there's not a lot that, I mean, there are a couple YouTube videos that are out there that, if you're interested in, that kind of, darker history. Someone must have touched her no square.
Stop.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I have that video.
That will cause you to stab someone 200 times.
Right? That video. That's worse than like that torture where they like play the same song over and over again outside. Yeah. That video, that would do it.
They did that at Waco. Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right.
Achy Is that Breaky what they played? Heart. They played Achy Breaky Heart. They played rabbits dying and screaming and whatnot. Yeah.
Did they? Mm-hmm. See, I never really read too much about the Waco Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look. We all know who this is. Boo. That's awesome. Yeah, boo right back at you. I hear them. They're all in the other room. I can hear my voice out there right now.
Can you? I hear nothing.
I hear myself.
I don't know why.
I don't know. No, out there. They're.
Are they watching the podcast out there?
She decided to come in, Mrs. Dreds, and boo me, which is her normal thing.
Did she?
Yeah, she comes in and boos
I guess
me
phase 10's over then.
I hope not, because I'm ready to kick some ass in some phase 10.
Hell yeah.
And because I don't have anything else to add to this. But it is.
Apparently in the 1890s, chicks named Lizzy were just crazy and running around killing people.
That's I win, not at phase 10. She can't even get her phases. She don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, there she is. But yeah, I guess Lizzy was a serial killer name back in the 1890s.
Yeah. And axes and guns, and especially that time, axes. Everybody had an axes. Yeah, everybody had axes back then.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised we didn't see any more.
Lots of bladed weapons.
Lots of. You always got to have that on hand.
Yeah.
Always.
Who needs cabbage when you got stabbage? That was so bad.
I give up. You need
I'm like this because of you realize?
Oh, Carlos said, watch out for all white women.
Lizzy is a very very Caucasian name. Yes. Yes.
Anybody named Lizzy, stay the hell away.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. I don't know about you. What do you have that? What do you take away from this? Don't name your kids Lizzy. You can start with that little
right.
Yeah, don't ever name your kids Lizzy.
Or Elizabeth or any version of that.
That could be construed as Lizzy, yeah.
You know what's funny?
No.
In the original Lizzie Borden movie, Elizabeth Montgomery played Lizzie Borden.
That's good casting.
I don't know why that like little ditty of facts just popped into my head, but that's one Lizzie playing another Lizzie.
I'll be damned.
Weird.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. See?
Learn something new
More
every
useless
day.
knowledge.
Doug Booth, what's happening, my friend? How are you, sir? We were actually just wrapping up. Oh, I almost put an ash in my monster.
Yeah, don't do that. See, this is why I have a straw. So I know which monster.
Rar, which monster are you?
Yes.
So hey, if you happen to miss it, just because as you mentioned, you're at work. If you happen to miss it, you can go back to YouTube and check it out. Talk to Lizzy Halliday. Not a whole lot on her. That's
I said one of her many names.
Right. One of her many names and many husbands and many stabs.
Right.
Oh man. So hey, with that being said, hey Tanya.
Yes.
It's been fun.
Has it?
Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, it was fun.
I guess it's just what you make of it. What is going on?
I don't know.
Somebody trying to bust in the door?
I think the dog's like, help me, get me away from these crazy people.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Girl saying, let me in.
You want to come in here, man? But no, it was fun nonetheless. Thank you. We'll have to do it again maybe sometime. You probably have to do it remotely.
Yes.
We can make it happen. So
because I'm from the land of leprosy.
The land of
Central
leprosy,
Florida.
Central Florida. Stay the hell out of there. Have a good night. Stay out of Central Florida. Don't get leprosy and be nice to each other.